What's up, guys? Coach Steve here, back in the truck, and probably my last video. Just wanted to go over a few more things before we give you some on-court content in the spring, and just some game ideas and a game-based approach to tennis, and some exercises that we do that really help our kids improve and have fun. One of the keys with tennis is that we develop students that can think independently and problem solve. And that just simply cannot happen if we're prescribing every movement and just barking orders about their swing and grip and technique. One of the biggest compliments that I get is, hey, that kid right there has really good technique and form. What did you tell them? And, I generally answer, well, very little about technique and form. We had the skill elicit the technique and form. And that is where we are at right now. And that's kind of a better way to learn this game. I think a creative coach will have the skill elicit the technique and have the skill elicit the form. And the skill can even elicit the footwork. And again, with a underhand feed from the coach to the student, or the racket feed from the tee, there's just not enough variability and variety to that feed. And your student is often hitting into an empty court and the ball is going against the back fence every time. And you're taking away all the reasons for misses. And, there's no opponent back there. You may be telling the student to recover to the center, which actually good players often don't recover to the center. And so, you just have all these variables missing. These contexts are missing. The context of a live ball, the context of an opponent, the context of an actual tennis ball coming to you. And, we're taking all those things away, and the player cannot really problem solve or think independently. And, it doesn't work quite as well as our way, which incorporates a live ball and an actual opponent, and just an acknowledgement that every single shot in tennis requires a different swing, and we can't just harp on one particular swing. There's all these different swings you have to have. There must be thousands of different forehands and backhands you have to hit. So the idea that I just get these repetitions with just one swing and a fed ball just doesn't work. It doesn't transfer. Again, it's not representative learning. It doesn't transfer the actual game of tennis, which is why, parents say, well, my kid's great in lessons and practices, but struggles in matches. That's part of the reason. So we need to introduce that variety and variability to help kids problem solve and think independently. And so it's going to be really fun to show you guys some on-court just games that can, accomplish this task, and using constraints on the tennis court, whether we're having, a kid use only their forehand only or half the court, or just different constraints to help kids acquire the skill, and following kind of the evidence and science on that skill acquisition and motor skills, and how kids actually learn and how we really should coach this game. So it's going to be a really exciting journey. It does kind of recharge you. If you have burnout as a coach, it's a very different way to coach. It should kind of reinvigorate your passion for the game. If you're a student that's been burned out or not having fun, this way helps you enjoy your lessons more. It's a lot more fun. Get the most out of your abilities. You're going to see the most improvement. And again, you're going to have the skill elicit the technique. And like we say, the shot is the goal, not the swing. And we, stress that kids own their own swing. And this whole ecological dynamics is a player-first approach, player-centered approach. And that's the other thing with the traditional lesson is, I am the coach. This is how you swing on the forehand. Do it this way. And so this is a more player-centered approach that moves away from that, and help kids problem solve. So this is going to be a fun journey. Can't wait to show you guys kind of the exercises that we do that we know work and really help kids improve. And, another example of, what we're not going to do out there, would be tell kids where to put their elbow on their forehand. We see coaches all the time say, get your elbow out, your arm should be straight on the forehand, you got to get extension. And then Yannick Sinner comes along, the number one player in the world, and his elbow is stuck to his side on every single forehand. So apparently, that wasn't good advice. Coaches, that say the Western forehand grip is too extreme. Well, it might be, but don't change your grip because someone like me tells you to. A good coach won't even mention the grip on the forehand. There could be a problem with an Eastern forehand grip. There could be a problem with a semi-Western forehand grip, but don't change just because, a coach like me says to. A good coach will create an environment where kids can explore and be creative and learn what works for them. I'm not telling you to hit Western. I'm just simply saying that 3 of my 4 3x4 top boys had a Western forehand. Sometimes I wonder how many kids we've ruined by telling them to not hit Western because it's too extreme before there was even a problem. At least wait for there to be a problem. Iga Swiatek, number one in the world for the women, has a Western forehand. So apparently that's okay for her too. So, these are the simple things that, we kind of need to move away from with this approach and just let players be creative and explore and find their own swing. So after this video gets out there on YouTube, we're going to have a bunch of on-court content that'll help you guys out. Thanks for tuning in.